and welcome to the video series of software design patterns. In this particular course we will be talking about prototype pattern. Prototype pattern refers to creating duplicate object while keeping performance in mind. This type of design pattern comes under creational pattern, as this pattern provides one of the best ways to create an object. This pattern involves implementing a prototype interface which tells to create a clone of the current object. This pattern is used when creation of object directly is costly. For example, an object is to be created after a costly database operation. We can cache the object, returns its clone on next request, and update the database as and when needed, thus reducing database calls. Let's look at the implementation we are going to proceed with in this particular course and video. We are going to create an abstract class shape and concrete classes extending the shape class. Class shape cache is defined as a next step which stores shape objects in a hash table and returns their clone when requested. Let's look at the higher application architecture of our prototype pattern. So our demo class will use shape cache class to get a shape object. Our main class is the shape, and this is the interface. Then we have this is the abstract class which is extended by circle, rectangle and square classes, and the shape cache is cloned by them, and then we have the prototype pattern demo which executes and where we will be verifying our output. Okay, the first step is to create an abstract class implementing clonable interface. So let's get to the terminal and let's create the project directory. So okay, cd projects java and patterns. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to create a new directory, project directory, for this particular video, and I'm going to name it prototype pattern, and I'm going to change its permissions, prototype pattern. Okay, the editor I'm going to use is Sublime. So the first class, abstract class we're going to create is called shape.java. So we have shape.java here, and now we start coding the shape.java class. It's an abstract class, public abstract keyword class shape space implements clonable. So basically clonable is a built-in interface in Java which supports cloning objects, existing objects in your application. The first property I'm going to create is a string which is private and its name is id. Then I'm going to create a protected string, and this is called type. Now let's create an abstract method void, and it's called raw. It doesn't return anything. The next thing we are going to create is a function, and it returns a string and it says get type. Basically it's a getter. It's called getter method. It will just return the type of the shape. Next thing we have is the get id method which returns the id of the project. So we have returned id, and this is also a getter method. Now we are going to write setter methods. So public void set id set type, and it receives a string get set id. Okay, so we are just going to do set id, we are not going to do set type. So this is set id, and it receives a string as an id, and it assigns this id to the current object that we are referring to. Then we are going to create an object, a function called clone, which will return an object, and this will start by creating a object type variable of clone. The next thing we are going to do is use a try catch block, and in try catch block we are going to clone the parent class of clonable, and here we are going to catch any exception if raised, clone not supported extension, exception here, clone not supported exception, and it's by e, and we are going to e dot print stack trace. So we are going to basically print the stack trace if there are any errors, so we can track the error where it is occurring in our current program. And at the end we are going to return the clone object, and that's it for this shape class, which is an abstract class, and this is the base class of our whole application. So this is step 1. Now we are going to move to step 2, where we will be creating concrete classes extending the above class, which is the shape class. So first of all we have a rectangle.java class. Let's create that rectangle.java, and within that class we are going to extend our shape class. Public class rectangle extends shape class. Okay, and here we are going to have a constructor rectangle. Constructor have the same name as the class name, so it is the default behavior in Java, and it is setting the type to rectangle, which is a string, and then we are going to override a function, draw function, which was defined in our abstract class shape. So we are just going to override that, and here we are going to print something to the terminal, system.out.println, and here we are going to say inside rectangle and draw method. So this is simply telling the user that we are currently in the rectangle class and within the draw method. So similarly the next step is to create a square.java class. Let's create that, square.java, and this is a similar class, public class square extends shape class, and here we are going to declare a constructor which is public square, and this constructor is setting the type of the object to square. And next we are going to override the function which is draw method, public void draw, and here we are going to system.out.println, and we are going to say inside square draw method. So what we are telling the user of this application is that we are currently in the square class and we are within the draw method. Okay, the third one is, and the last one in concrete classes, is the circle.java class. So let's create that, circle.java, and we have public class circle extends shape class, and here we are going to define the constructor public circle, and we are going to set the type to circle. The next thing we are going to do is override the draw function that has been declared in our abstract class shape, and here we are going to do the same thing, system.out.println inside circle and draw method. So we are done with our three concrete classes, which are rectangle, square and circle. So our base class is shape, which is an abstract class, and as you know, in Java you cannot create an object of an abstract class. So basically we are extending that abstract class to create our concrete classes, which are rectangle class, square class and circle class. So objects of concrete classes can be created, that's why they are called concrete classes. Then at step 3 we are going to create a class to get concrete classes from database and store them in a hash table. So this class is very important and it is called shapecache.java. So let's create that file, shapecache.java. Okay, and by default we need to use a built-in library of Java that is called hash table. It is a built-in library in Java, so we are going to use that. Public class shapecache, and this is our structure, and we are going to define a private static hash table, which is string, which will store a string and a shape and shape map. We are going to call it shape map, and it will be an object of hash table, and it will store string and shape. So that's our private static object of shape map. Now we are going to create a static method which will return the shape, and it is a getter method which is called getShape, and it receives a string which is called shape id, and here we are going to create a shape variable, cached shape equals shape map dot get shape id, and we are going to return an object of type shape from the cached shape dot clone. So we are basically returning the duplicate object of the shape from our hash table, instead of creating a new object from scratch, which may require database calls or some expensive operations, which may slow down your application or create performance issues. So here I'm just typing in the things that might be done and with the shape class, but we are not going to implement that. These are just for understanding. Shape map dot put shape key and shape. For example, we are adding 3 shapes. Okay, so now we are going to define another static method, which is public void load cache function, and within this function what we are going to do is we are going to create object of our circle class, new circle, and we are going to set the id of that circle object to 1, and we are going to add this into our shape map hash table. Put circle dot get id. So the key is the id of the circle and the value is the object of the circle, which will be stored in the hash table. Now we are going to create a square object, and we are going to do same with this as well. Square, sorry, we are going to refer to the variable square dot set id. Let's set it to 2, and we are also going to add it into our hash table. Put, and it is called square dot get id, and the object is the square object in this case. The third and the last one is the rectangle object. Rectangle equals new rectangle, and here we are going to do is rectangle dot set id and 3, and now our hash table. Put rectangle dot get id and the rectangle object. So that's pretty much it with the shape cache class. So shape cache class won't be created as an object because all of its methods are and properties are static. So we don't need to create an object of this class. We will be just calling the static methods by reference to the name of the class. Now let's go to the prototype pattern demo, which is step 4, which uses shape cache class to get clones of shapes stored in hash table. So let's create that. Prototype pattern demo.java. Prototype pattern demo.java. Okay, here we are going to create a class, public class prototype pattern demo. Okay, and this class is our main class with the executable function public static void main string arguments, and here we have the shape class shape cache dot load cache. Okay, we are calling this function to load cache. Load cache will do what load cache will do. It will create an object of circle. It will set the id of that object to 1, and it will add that object into our hash table, which is shape map. Secondly, it will create square object and add it into the hash table with id 2. And the last one is the rectangle object. It will set the id to 3 and put it into the hash table with the rectangle object. And okay, now let's coming back to our prototype pattern demo class. Shape cloned shape equals shape, and here we are going to use shape cache dot get shape 1. So basically what we are doing here, we are going to fetch our circle object from the hash table that we have created in the shape cache class, fetching circle object using its id from cache. Okay, so basically what we are doing is we are not creating a new object for our functionality in our application. We will be reusing our existing object which we have stored in our hash table, and we are going to print something to the terminal, and it says shape, and it says cloned shape dot get type. So basically after we have fetched the object from the hash table, we are going to get its type, which should be circle, because id1, as you know in the previous class, refer to the circle object. And the second thing we are going to do is we are going to fetch the shape2 was square, so let's fetching square object using its id from cache. Okay, so shape cloned shape, I'm going to call it 2, so it's differentiated from the above one, shape cache dot get shape and 2. Let's print out something on the console so we know we are doing it in the correct way. And this one is shape, it's the same code but with a different way object get type. And the third one is fetching rectangle object using its id from cache, and its shape clone shape 3 equals shape cache dot get shape, and this time it's 3 because rectangle have an id of 3. And now we are going to system.out.println on the terminal, says shape and it says clone shape 3 dot get type. Okay, so we are done with our prototype pattern demo, and we are going to execute our application on the terminal. So as you can see, we have like 1 2 3 4 5 6 classes. So the top one is shape.java, which is an abstract class. Then we have the concrete classes, square.java, rectangle.java and circle.java. Afterwards we have the shapecache.java class, which is our hash table class, and it's storing the objects of our concrete classes, which are square, circle and rectangle. And the last one where we will be verifying our application structure and cache is the prototype pattern demo. And within this class we will be fetching our objects that we stored in shape cache and printing out to the terminal just to verify our execution. So step 5 is to verify the output. Okay, let's compile prototype pattern demo.java, and okay, it says cannot find symbol, and it is in the shapecache.java class. So let's go to shapecache.java class and let's go to square. Yeah, there is a typo, as you can see, it is UARE. Now it should be fine. Yeah, we don't have any output now, so this means that our compilation have been done. So I'm going to run prototype pattern demo class, and you can see we have the output shape circle, shape rectangle and shape square. So this is the output what we were expecting from our application, which is based on prototype software design pattern. I hope that you have liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you need any help, feel free to contact me at umehmood@gmail.com. My LinkedIn address is linkedin.in/umehmood. My Twitter handle is Osman_TechWeber. The code of this project has been uploaded on GitHub. You can get the GitHub link from the YouTube video description, and you can download it and test it on your own machine. See you next time with a new topic in design patterns. Thank you very much.